there, I'm Becky.
And I'm Lindsay.
And we finally hit record on our candid conversations around conscious parenting.
We're here to talk about all of it.
Ugly parts included.
And share our raw experiences and imperfect insights as we're doing parenting.
Pretty conscious.
In this episode, I'm sharing about the spectrum of consent, a game changer for increasing awareness, intentionality, and empowerment. At the end of the episode, I share some potentially tender somatic practices, so please use your discernment. If you want to skip trinkets, start at 15 minutes. All right, let's dive in.
Cheers. With our frescoes.
Yeah.
Hello.
Hi.
Welcome to another episode.
Happy to be here.
Me too.
It feels like it's been a long time, but it hasn't.
I know. We were recording like every week.
Yeah.
And then we had a couple weeks that we did other things instead together. We still use the time.
Oh, yeah. I love that when we first established that we were going to move forward with Pretty Conscious, that we decided unanimously that we were going to do pretty conscious things on top of what we already do.
Yeah. It just means we get
Not
each other better.
Which I'm fine with.
Oh, yeah.
Gas budget.
No,
Gas
it's not
budget disagrees, but it's fine.
Totally. Trinkets.
I'm curious. I wonder if it would be, I think it might be helpful, or I would love to check in. Genuinely, I would love to check in. I know we talked a little bit about it at the lake, but in episode 101, I shared about how it was like time to level up, and it was a level up moment. And you shared similarly about last week and kind of being in a similar moment. And so I think I would love to just touch base. Like,
Yeah.
did you change anything?
Yeah.
Did you do anything? Have I changed anything? I'm happy to go first.
Yes, absolutely. Go for it.
So with us, we implemented, I was feeling the call, a lot of what we talked about in episode 103, our last episode, was feeling like there was a call in for more structure. There was a need for more, a firmer box around like containing us all.
Yeah.
And so I brought in some more structure and some more intellectual challenge work. And it met my big Henry right where he was at. He needed more of that, and he started reading, launched his reading.
So cool.
Because we started, one of the components that we incorporated into the schedule was some homeschool time where we're sitting down and doing some reading practice, some letter recognition, phonemes. I do it every single time I invert it.
Like a phenome is something.
It's got to be something.
Not sure what, but
we'll
something.
Google it. We'll put it in the show notes. And it really supported the crew through that really tricky time. And as we've moved into summer quite rapidly, we've lost a lot of the structure that we had brought in. And it's okay. And there's room for us to flex, and we're prioritizing the family time that we're having extra access to right now. And so that's all, valuable and worth prioritizing for us right now. And I'm also still feeling the call to okay, I can get back into summer schedule is what we were calling it. And the guys every now and then are like, I think we just really need summer schedule again. But it's great because even though we're not actively using it right now, it's now another tool in our tool belt. It's something that they know they can ask for. So when they don't know what they need is a little more structure brought into their day or whatever, they know, oh yeah, but sometimes it feels better when I feel like this. Sometimes it feels better when we do summer schedule, so I can ask for summer schedule. And so that's cool. Empowering that mutual empowerment piece.
I have a question about when you implemented summer schedule.
Yeah.
Did you talk to the kids about transparently about hey guys, we're doing this because I've noticed XYZ?
Yeah.
Yeah. That's so that it's very explicitly a are you noticing these things too? Cool.
Yeah.
Now here's a tool that we're going to try. And then they actually got to like feel how that
Yeah.
shifted things.
And we did things because we've been really big. This is great. Ties into today's topic of spectrum of consent. Using the language of willingness because it's guys, hey, I'm not willing to be in this tolerating space of all of what is coming up every day, day after day. It just keeps happening. Our days keep going this way and feeling this way for all of us, not just me, for all of us. Are you guys willing to try something different with our schedule?
Yeah.
And so it's that openness of like, yep, we're willing. So
Yeah.
no, they're not wanting it. They're not coming to me asking for it. It's not totally child-led, but they
Yeah.
are willing to
give it a
follow
shot.
my lead and give it a shot and see how it goes. And then, 3-4 days in, the questions start emerging and the negotiation starts to come through of, hey mom, are you willing to switch? Can we do homeschool after free time?
Yeah.
Or whatever. And so then it's experimenting and we're
Yeah.
working with the structure that we were giving a try. And so,
Yeah.
yeah.
That's really cool.
Yes.
I love
Yes,
that.
and.
Yeah. Yeah. The with the structure, there becomes more options for flexibility because there's like a base for you all to stand on and like a like an understanding that you're all coming from. Whereas when it is more like free and open, some seasons call for that, and that's fine. But sometimes the too many choices can feel really hard.
Yeah. And a lot of what it felt like was relieving the burden of choice.
Yeah.
Which for that age group, when we talked about this last time, it was like sometimes too much power can feel stressful for the body, especially when you're that young, and feels stressful for my body all the time. So,
Yeah.
so
We've been given a lot of power as parents, and that's
Yeah.
really hard. That's
Totally.
part of what feels so hard about this whole gig.
and what we're talking about with that approach to everything with my kiddos really feels like an illustration of that moment where it's not me taking power from you so that I have more and you have less. It's me offering more powerful energy in
Yeah.
and also empowering you in that.
Yeah.
Taking away some of the power that is overwhelming you.
Yeah.
And so that we both are in our, it's not about us
Empowerment.
each having more power. It's us each having optimal amount of power for
Yeah.
right now, which feels really important.
Well, and then you're able to come from the place of empowerment instead of like the overwhelm of power, the
Yeah.
stressful bit of power.
And infusing more powerful energy into the scenario actually also for me comes with so much more flexibility.
Yeah.
So it's like I
Yeah.
feel so different when the negotiation time comes.
Yeah.
Because I'm not coming from I'm just down here begging you to let things
Yeah.
be different. No, I'm leading us into a different path, a different way of operating our days, and totally open to your input.
Yeah. That feels very tied to like what's connecting for me there is like polyvagal theory, and the empowerment is when you're in the green zone, when you're in ventral vagal, social engagement, and like the reason that there's more flexibility is because there is the increased safety that comes from like
Right, and that plays in because play is also, it's not in the green zone.
Yeah.
Play and hard work and like healthy stress, that's not in the green zone. That's not in ventral vagal, but what makes it's safe.
like mixed. Yeah, is
It's
the safety.
the blended state because there's the safety of ventral vagal
Yeah.
in that mobilized, sympathetic state.
So cool.
So really cool. Yeah,
Yeah.
I love that tie-in.
Yeah, that's like just my brain was like when you're like flexibility, I was like, oh, that comes
Yeah.
when we have a tie into the
Totally.
green.
Totally. So it really, we're expanding the window of tolerance
Yeah.
through all of that.
Through like with the structure,
Yeah.
the window of tolerance grows.
Yeah.
Oh, cool.
Okay. I would love to hear your check-in
Yeah.
with how things have been going with E. I would also love to pitch to our third conversation
Yeah.
member, those who are
Absolutely.
listening. If you have an experience that is tapping into any of these themes of power or shifting up your routine and how are the kids responding or negotiations or anything, I would love to hear about it.
Just any of those level up
Substack or
seasons.
Instagram or anything. Yeah.
Yeah.
So I think there's so many different flavors of how these things go, but I would,
Yeah. And how it like, I mean, we recorded 101 when you first brought up that like need to level up was weeks ago.
yeah.
And so it takes time.
Yeah.
And so I think that, inviting people into that I love that. Little update for us. So we definitely like went in and like injected some more power in. I love that like visual. And really just came at things with a little bit more of a proactive approach. Catching the dysregulation sooner.
Yeah.
And being able to actually start seeing it as dysregulation sooner, like being able to trace that back to like more of the origin and help from that point. And just really going a lot bigger on like the follow through of things. And with E, I feel like I was telling you today, I feel like we are like through the thickest bits of the bush. The blackberry bush is what I'm imagining, like a big old bramble. And I like we're not all the way through yet. But I'm noticing in her so much more rest and ability to sink into play and sink into relationship with us and with other kids and with other families and all the people that were around. You had a question, say it. I'm excited to see it. Your face lit up.
So I'm curious because we've spent a lot of time, as we usually do, but I've noticed even the way that she's been responding to my requests. And there have been moments where, like, for instance, I was out in the water with her and she was going further than the established agreement and further than I was comfortable with. And she, was doing that like limit testing and I like held on to her floaty.
Yep.
I was like, sorry, bud, like I'm gonna help keep us in this limit. And I saw it another moment at your house and where I kind of had to I had to remind her of a limit or let her know like, hey, I'm not comfortable with that or whatever. Basically like one of those moments where I'm telling her like, no, what?
Yeah.
Which is like only earned because we've been parenting our kids together for so long.
Yeah.
And obviously I'm always open to your guidance.
Yeah.
What I have observed is that she has this moment where it seems like, disappointed, but also in that seems like relief a little bit. Like, okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Okay, fine. Yeah.
Okay. Move into something else.
Yeah. And then like she's able to shift
moving
faster.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, where when we first started with more of the follow through, it took a while longer to get to the relief.
Yeah.
That like the disappointment was anger.
Yeah.
And then took a while to get to like sadness, acceptance, and relief. And so she's moving through that a lot faster, I think, because we've done it hundreds of times over the last 2 weeks, like
which sounds bananas, but it's not. That's the actual figures.
And that I think that she is feeling that and is feeling a lot more safety and trust being built, that like she has trust in me.
Yeah.
And like with that, we have been able to like release a little bit.
Yeah.
But with like very clear things. And then when we do start to get beyond that, she's like seeing that I will step in. And so it feels like we're building something new.
Yeah.
With it.
So cool.
Yeah. It's been great. And really cool to get to explore it so explicitly through all of this.
And it's not always easy and it's not always quick turnarounds and it's not, we don't always, get it. in
Right?
quotes, right, the first go round.
Yeah.
But I'm glad to hear that that's where you guys are at, and I'm glad to feel that that's where we're at right now.
Yeah.
I feel like there's more air in the room,
Uh-huh.
which is great.
Yeah.
Love a little more openness, and it was so delightful to be able to bring everybody together and have such a fun time at the lake
I
today with
know.
everyone.
Yeah.
Such a really, really great day.
Just felt so good to just parent together.
Yeah, it was lovely.
to
And it was
enjoy
really
things.
lovely to see you in your element as
Oh.
doing the forest mentor guy. It was just so cool. I loved it. So,
I'll take the compliment.
yeah, receive it. Receive it.
Receiving! It's so uncomfortable.
Oh, man.
Yeah, it was fun. I'm just smiling.
Yeah. Okay, the topic of today,
Yeah.
spectrum of consent.
Ooh, juicy.
It's such a big one.
It's so potent and powerful
Yeah.
and life changing.
Mm-hmm.
And if you're skipping trinkets and going right here, or if you went through trinkets and now you're here, stick around, because spectrum of consent, when I learned about it from Lindsay, was freaking life changing, and I literally think about it every single day. And it's been probably at least 2 years since then. When did you do parenting with?
Wasn't that 2023?
That sounds right.
I think it was fall 2023.
That sounds right. So yeah, coming up on 2 years.
Yeah. So, yeah, because it was right before we started doing Moon Night
Mm-hmm.
that we,
Yeah.
yeah,
That's
that was
true.
right all around the same time.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I will just go through quickly and not too rigid what
Yeah.
spectrum of consent is. One of the things I love about it is how it's evolving and how it's not a framework that I received from anybody necessarily.
Yeah.
Like there's the bit that I learned, and I'll give credit where credit is due.
So sorry.
You're just clanking,
Clanking around.
and I'm so upset about it. So I'll give the high level of spectrum of consent.
Great.
But one of the things I love about it so much is that it's new and it's evolving, and the way that we incorporate it and the way that we talk about it is so living and breathing.
Mm-hmm.
It's not a stagnant framework.
Yeah.
It's something that we're working with. It was an idea. I learned something in a totally different context, but it applies in really cool ways, in my opinion. And it has so much fantastic built-in language that hits so many of the value markers for me.
Yeah.
So we've incorporated it, and it's in there now, and living and breathing. And so it grows with us. But I'll give the high level.
Yes.
I learned about the concept of spectrum of consent from somebody called Kai-Ching Tom. She's beautiful in the sexology space. She has really powerful, potent work. And so that's how I was introduced to it, as part of like an attachment, somatic attachment therapy training. And so basically, and they had kind of modified the idea from somebody else, who I'll credit in the show notes.
Yeah.
But we've kind of taken it and morphed it from there
Again.
again.
Yeah.
So what I received was that, hey, instead of just yes and no, and consent being either a yes or a no, let's zoom in on yes. On the moments where we are doing something, we are agreeing to do something by way of engaging in it and actively participating to some degree, right? Let's break that down, because there's more nuance there, right? In the things that we are doing, there are things that we want to do because we delight in them, because we desire to do them, because it feels good for us. So there's the things that we do because we're willing, not necessarily because we want it or desire it for ourselves, but because there's other really good reasons to be open to doing it. So I think of like gift giving falling into this category, where I genuinely am feeling positively, I'm feeling neutral or above I'm feeling positively about engaging in this, but it's not for me,
Yeah.
right? I think that's a
I think for
pretty
some people they
succinct-
like would want to gift, but I think
Sure.
that like
Yes.
for like I think that that makes sense the way that
Yeah.
you worded it.
But
Yeah.
it's not me spending $500 on a guitar for you because I want that.
Yeah.
You know, like
Yeah.
it's that whole so there's lots of really good reasons too. So I'm willing. But the willing and the wanting requires zero self-abandonment. That's an important note. You know this. We also do things that we are only tolerating. And tolerating yeses are the ones where it's outwardly a yes, but internally there's a no. I don't want to do it. I just feel like I kind of have to, but I don't. There's not really any wanting here. It's just something I'm putting up with, but I'm doing it anyways. It's still an outward yes,
Yeah.
right? And then lastly is tolerating.
Enduring.
Oh yes, enduring.
We just didn't tolerate.
We just did tolerating. Lastly, there's enduring, where it's actively harming me. I'm still doing it, but literally because I just don't feel like I have an option not to. And so, in all of this, on the tolerating and enduring side of things, there is self-abandonment. This part was not necessarily called out when I was taught it.
Yeah.
But that seems a clear delineation between wanting and willing and tolerating and enduring. Is that tolerating and enduring require at least temporary self-abandonment, and wanting and willing do not.
Yeah.
And so, when we have that self-abandonment piece, when we move into that territory, it requires repair. So that's like the very high level of like what the spectrum is,
Yeah.
right? We engage in all of these yeses as part of parenting,
Yeah.
and we ask our kids / demand our kids also spend time in each. Life demands it.
Yeah.
It's not even necessarily us demand, but like you just, as human beings living life, we all occupy some of these yeses, all of these states.
Yeah.
Right. And so even acknowledging that there's a difference, like, yes, I'm doing it, but where am I on this spectrum?
Yeah.
Because I think it's very important. I think the primary message, the primary life-changing component of the spectrum of consent is twofold. The awareness of even just knowing where you're at and being able to build awareness and introspection and knowing where you're at, because the more aware we are, the more intentional we can be.
Yeah.
And the piece of there is a call to action for repair. Not only for when we move ourselves into self-abandonment because we said yes to something we're only tolerating or enduring, but also that it requires repair with our kids when we ask them to spend time in tolerating or enduring.
Yeah.
And I feel like it's such a valuable thing to embody these different states.
Yeah.
I know you asked when we were talking about doing this session if I would kind of like guide us through some of that. So I'm totally happy to. But
Yeah.
for now, I want to pitch to you and
Yeah.
hear.
That's,
Yeah.
I know, because I've taught this framework to different folks as well after having learned it from you and integrated it into like my own life and parenting and taught it to other people. And just this idea of self-repair was so new to so many of the people that I talked to about it. That like the idea of talking to their kid, like repairing with their kids made a lot more sense. But the
Yeah.
idea of self-repair felt very novel. And so I'm curious if you would speak to
Elaborate.
that. Yeah.
Sure. Love to. You know, I love attachment.
Yes.
Attachment theory, developmental attachment theory. And the game changer for me was realizing that there is an attachment that we have with ourselves. as much as we talk about developing the secure attachment with our kids, which we'll talk more about secure attachment,
Sure.
obviously.
Yeah.
It's baked into everything. But so again, like you said, a lot of times we're thinking about the attachment between caregiver and child. And my mind was blown when I was first introduced to the idea that, oh, I actually have an attachment model with how I relate to my own self.
Same.
Am I a good caregiver to me? What? What do you mean? A very alarming realization.
Yeah.
That there's a model for that internally. There's an internal relational model. Me and myself.
Yeah.
And how I hold myself in relationship.
Yeah.
And so realizing that we each have an attachment model with our own selves, and thank goodness for neuroplasticity because it's changeable.
Yes.
I definitely needed to earn back a secure attachment with myself so that I could answer, am I a good caretaker of me? With a resounding yes. And a knowing yes. Yes, let me prove it.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because that's really, and this all requires breaking down people-pleasing tendencies. This all requires engaging with rejection sensitivity. This requires dealing with enmeshment.
Yeah.
Because there's so many things that play into, even self-sabotage as a concept,
totally.
self-abandonment as a concept. It's like, oh man, how much of the time am I actually doing that? And that's what I think the awareness of spectrum of consent highlighted for me is like, oh my gosh, because I invite people, I'll just do it actively now.
Yeah.
Spend a minute, maybe close your eyes. How much of your day is spent in wanting? Think pie chart. How big is that slice? This is the wanting. This is like, yes, full body, yes. You say it, I want it, yes. How much in willing? Maybe it takes a minute, but you think about it a little, and then it's a yes. It's still a full-bodied yes, but maybe a little more heady, right? What's that pie slice look like? What about tolerating? For me, even as I say tolerating, it's like sinking into my stomach a little bit. It's the pull downward. It's the hunching a little bit. It's the collapsing under the, I don't want to. I really don't want to. And I'm still going to. But what's the sound of tolerating for you? Do I have to?
Yeah.
How much of the time is spent in that spot? And enduring. This is you talked about last week, gripping. Just gripping onto the edge of your seat until the day is over. This is oh my God, I've been up 15 times tonight. How are they still not asleep? Oh my God, they have a fever and I have a migraine. I still have to show up. But oh my God.
I really don't want to.
And it's harmful to me. Like, I can't rest. How much is that your experience? And then understanding that those tolerating and enduring moments are self-abandonment. And we're not vilifying it. We're not saying you should never have to. But that awareness landed with me like a ton of bricks. Yeah, realizing that I was spending like 80% of my time there. And when I was gentle parenting and just white knuckling my way through, it was a lot of pretending that I was in wanting when I was actually in tolerating. which is almost a secondary self-abandonment. You know?
Uh-huh. Yeah,
Hurts.
it does.
It hurt, and we rob our children of knowing us when we do that. We rob our partner. We rob ourselves of real, authentic friendship when we are pretending we're in wanting, we're actually tolerating. I feel like the awareness and then the ability to actually show up in it and the follow through of when I'm engaging in something that is self-abandoning, that part of coming back and repairing with yourself, that looks as simple as like, I didn't want to go out to the pool. Or no, we've used the example of like washing dishes.
Yeah.
I don't want to wash dishes at the end of a long night. I am tolerating it for sure. At least you're just tolerating it, right? And this is obviously a very superficial example.
Yeah.
Take it as deep as it goes, for you, as just deep as you're comfortable.
Yeah.
But it's saying, okay, I don't want to, but like I also need to set myself up for success for tomorrow. I'm going to do it anyways.
Yeah.
I'm going to do the dishes anyways, even though it's an embodied no. It feels like a no. I'm going to do the yes anyways. And I'll repair with myself by, you know what? I'm tired. I'm going to push through. So going to give myself that shower after, or I'm going to put on my show and make myself spend the extra 2 minutes and make myself a cup of tea
To have.
to have before, during, or after, and it happens with bigger things too. It's, hey, I had the tough conversation that I was dragging my feet on having and it didn't feel that good during. And I just tolerated or endured it because I needed to.
Yeah.
And I'm going to love on myself after. I'm going to make sure that I have time to connect with my friends so that I can refill,
Yeah.
refuel.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's so many like small ways
Mm-hmm.
to do self-repair.
Mm-hmm.
And I know for me, as I like went through, first I just want to go back and acknowledge that the like pie chart visual, the very first time we did this, also hit me like a ton of bricks.
Mm-hmm.
And I realized that I was also intolerating so much of the time,
Mm-hmm.
but telling myself that, oh, I'm not one of those parents
Mm-hmm.
that's not enjoying what they're doing.
Yeah.
But then when I like really sunk into the like feeling of each, like the somatic feeling of each space,
Mm-hmm.
there was the realization that, wow, that tolerating part of the pie graph is big. It's real big.
And we talked about it last time a little bit. You're like, there's some benefit to the mindset component, having a good attitude and positive attitude about self. And the reality,
Mm-hmm.
our nervous system knows what's real.
Yeah.
Our our body knows what's true. It does not do anybody any good for us to deny our reality. And if your reality is that you're tolerating, that does not make you evil or bad or not a good parent.
Yeah.
Or worse than your kids next
or-
door.
Yeah.
Or any of those things. It is simply just what is.
Yeah.
There's no moral judgment around it. Let's acknowledge what is. And what makes it so powerful is not just so that we can label it and say, oh, tolerating here, enduring here,
Yeah.
wanting here. It's so that we build familiarity with where we're at so that we can make authentic changes that authentically shift us into another state. So that when our kids come to us asking, hey, will you go outside with me? It's 105, but I really want to play outside. I can go, no. That sounds terrible. I would be tolerating, maybe enduring that if I said yes to that exact plan.
Yeah.
However, I know that temperature is huge for me and for my nervous system.
Mm-hmm.
So if I bring a fan and a cold beverage, that moves me into willing maybe
Yep.
Maybe still tolerating, but maybe just over the edge into willing.
Yeah.
If you put me by a body of water or in a body of water, now I want to.
Yeah.
Yes. So it's making these things so that we can be aware, so that one, if there's nothing we can do about it and we just have to say the yes to things as they are, we know that we can come back around and make a self-repair,
Mm-hmm.
hold ourselves to that.
Yeah.
Two, we can change it maybe.
Yeah.
Maybe we can actually honestly change it.
Yeah. Yeah. And I think that's one of the most powerful parts of spectrum of consent is not, like you said, we're not just like going and slapping a label on all these moments. Like,
Yeah.
sure, that's kind of how it starts because you're
Right.
building the awareness. But as we build that awareness and you're able to recognize those moments, then you actually can do things about it.
Yeah.
And we can do things to like try to meet in the middle. Like this is,
Yeah.
I feel like as I can speak to, as I've started to use the language with my kid, and I know I see it with your kids all the time too. That this is the basis of the negotiations that we do have.
And this serves our core value of flexibility
Yeah.
so well.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Absolutely. Yeah, and it's such a powerful starting point for those moments where we're asking our kids to be flexible, where our kids are asking us to be flexible.
Yeah.
Um, and in the moments where the flexibility isn't there or can't be there, having the like framework for repair of like it was just like I remember it just feeling so helpful to have the moments like so clear of like, oh, this is a moment of repair instead of being like, oh God, I don't feel like I've repaired enough today for how the day felt. And it was just like, no, if I just look at it through this lens,
Yeah.
then it becomes pretty clear. Um, and yeah, just the idea of like the self-repair piece and putting myself in the spectrum of consent felt so game-changing in getting to know my true self. It felt like it stripped away so many layers of the onion and really gave me like like a focused version of what was actually happening for me throughout the day. And it was so eye-opening and like really gritty at first. But then the powerful part then of being able to do the self-repair and the repair with my kid and shift some of those moments that were in the no or that like just defaulted to no or defaulted to like the self abandonment zone
Yeah.
to the tolerating and enduring. Because what I found as I started to like bring more awareness to this through the lens of spectrum of consent is that there was so many things that I think I just default as a no, like in my body. But then if I actually stop and look at it, they're not actually a no.
Right.
There's actually like so many reasons that I want to do these things. And sometimes it's just a matter of like stopping and looking at it again, taking 10 steps back every once in a while.
Yeah.
And like I think of moments when my kid'll ask me to play, and I know I have a complicated relationship with play. Getting less complicated by the years, by the months. But when my kid'll ask me to play, that like my immediate is like, ugh, fine. Like I think that's like one of my tolerating sounds. Um, but then if I set some parameters around it, kind of like what you said, what can move me into willing to go out in the 105-degree heat?
Yeah.
If I set a time limit, or if I am like, I'm not willing to play Barbies. My daughter doesn't play Barbies.
What's a real example?
Yeah. Like play kitchen, pretend game, something or other. Um, like full pretend play is a lot harder for me, and so that one takes a lot more to get into willingness. But if I'm like, "Yeah, I'm not willing to play that game," but like, are you able to flex and play like a big body play game
Yeah.
instead?
Or
Or
like my body's not willing to play, but my voice is.
yeah, I
Will
love
that work
that.
for you?
I love that.
And there's that whole component of it's also with our kids. It's the spectrum of consent also applies to our kids.
Yes.
And so how much of the time are we asking them to go into tolerating and enduring?
Mm-hmm.
What does their body look like when they're in tolerating? What are their markers?
Mhm.
We talk about that all the time, right? So how can we grow our awareness of where our kids are truly at
Yeah.
if they're not in the place to tell us, right? But I love that you mention spectrum of consent as a starting place because that's exactly what it is.
Mhm.
And the goal is not, I think it's important to break down the dichotomy that if you're enduring, it means they're wanting. And if you're wanting, they're enduring. I think it's really important to note that it's a starting place for the negotiations to the place where you both ideally are in wanting and willing, wanting or willing as much of the time as, and it's not even all the time.
No,
Think
it's
about
actually
think about
okay.
for yourself.
Yeah.
How much of the time are you comfortable with asking yourself to go into enduring or tolerating? And you can do those things like for the now because of a greater thing. Like in the moment, it might be an enduring, but in the big picture,
Mhm.
the larger timeline,
Yeah.
it's a wanting.
Yeah.
Doesn't feel great, but there are many good reasons
Yeah.
to do it. And
Yeah.
so I'm going to endure in this moment because I want this thing in the long run.
Yeah. I know we always talk about the example with our kids in like tolerating and enduring with going to the doctor and like vaccinations, and you're gonna have to get a shot, and it's really like it's gonna suck.
Yeah. And
But like the long-term goal of that being so many things that move us into willing and wanting, and I believe for my kid will also be a place of willing and wanting as she grows up.
yeah.
Um, and so yeah, just like in this moment right now, it really sucks. And
Yeah.
we can even do things to make our kids more willing to go into that space of enduring.
Yeah. So we do the awful sandwich. So if there's a moment that's going to be enduring,
Mhm.
shots at the doctor, dentist visits for us. Middle Henry just had to get stitches. Uh,
Mm.
just one stitch,
What? I'll stitch.
a stitch. But just sandwiching it between two not awful things, two things that maybe are more of a wanting. So a lot of times it'll be okay, outside play at home, then the awful, then froyo.
Yeah.
So that, and that's one that, so there, what tools and strategies come to mind
Mm-hmm.
when you're imagining we've got one of those tolerating or enduring things that's not changeable, that thing.
Yeah.
If I can't change that thing to make it something that you're willing to do or wanting to do,
Mm-hmm.
well, okay, let's zoom out a little bit. What can we change in the bigger picture?
Mm-hmm.
So,
Getting a
there's
really like visiony way that of
Yeah.
like the really like zoomed in moment and then like zooming out
yeah.
and yeah, being able to hold both.
Yeah. And I just think it's so worthwhile to maybe spend some time talking about how we actually talk about this and language this
Yeah.
in parenting because you're going there
Mm-hmm.
and I've added little snippets, but
Yeah.
this is such powerful language. We're talking consent. We're talking the foundations of consent in a meaningful way.
Yeah. And it applies to everything.
Uh-huh.
And like we're starting it in a way that like they get to feel
Yeah.
what consent is.
Yeah. And this podcast is not intended for children's ears.
Mhm.
Are you okay if I talk candidly?
Yeah.
Okay. One of the things that I find really distressing is how many people who I know who have had sex with partners, and while they're having sex, the person is like not actively engaged in any way.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like, how do you not see them
Mm-hmm.
in their enduring?
Yeah.
And you're still, and we can, that's a whole topic, right? But my kids, because of this, are going to absolutely know
Yeah.
what it looks like when somebody isn't tolerating or enduring,
Yep.
because they know the feeling in themselves and they're deeply connected to that, and they know what it looks like in mom when she's in enduring or tolerating, and we're talking about it. I'm sharing authentically. I don't want to do this, guys. I'm totally tolerating this. And we're doing it anyways.
Yeah.
But oh my gosh. And sharing the
And
experience.
the repair piece too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The repair piece, seeing what it looks like, being able to hold deeper empathy for the nuance of they are doing it, but what's the insight? Because that's one of the differentiating pieces between the wanting and willing side of the spectrum and the tolerating and enduring. Wanting and willing is an embodied yes, and it's an inaction yes. Tolerating and enduring is inaction yes, embodied no. And that's yet another question. Do you know what an embodied no feels like? Do you know what that feels like? How long does it take you to know if it's an embodied yes or an embodied no for you? Because a lot of us are just stopping at what is my action answer? Yes, I'm going to do it, or no, I'm not going to do it. But knowing that that there's more there to be aware of.
Oh, I was like feeling it in my, like it just comes in waves, like just so powerful.
And to have kids
Yeah.
incorporating this, and it doesn't, it feels complicated talking about it now, but that's because we're adults who did not grow up with this kind of nuance. They're growing with it, and they fully understand. My 6-year-old is well versed in the language of spectrum of consent.
Yeah.
He doesn't know it's called spectrum of consent, but he knows the difference between wanting, willing, tolerating, and enduring. Luckily, we don't have to go to enduring so much, but and we don't have to use those words exactly.
Yeah.
That's fine. But it is helpful, I feel like, for consistency to know. And really, it is about a relationship between what we're doing and what we're engaging in and the variables of it, and a state that we're occupying around that. It's our relationship to the things we're doing.
Yeah. That's like, I know Big Henry, like I hear him talking about it all the time.
Yeah. I do have other children. I feel like Big Henry is the one we talk about so much.
He makes art appearances here.
Yeah, I do have other children.
That's why there is a Big Henry, a Middle Henry, and a Little Henry, is because there are 3. But yes,
Backing away from my interjection. You're fine. Go ahead with your hand up in the.
But yeah, E at 4.5 also incorporates it all the time, where she'll be like, "Oh, I'm willing to eat my dinner tonight if I can sit on the carpet and have a picnic.
Yeah.
I'm not willing to let you eat your hamburger on the carpet.
Yeah.
Can you grab a towel? Yep, great.
Yeah.
That's just from last night.
That's
And that's a lot, but
yeah, totally.
under a towel."
And
she followed through.
And it's, Mom, I know we can't go to the pool tonight because Middle Henry had to get stitches. Are you willing to take us tomorrow? Are you willing to promise you'll take us tomorrow? And it's those moments of, Mom, did you find any willingness?
That too, yeah.
Because that's it a lot of times.
Yeah.
And a lot of times it's, I'm not feeling a yes about that right now.
Yeah.
Can I have some time with it? And then
I can,
and then it's okay. And then they run off and play, and they come back and check in. And it's my job. It's my job to move through and see, hey, are there any things that I can do that help me find more willingness around this? And it's okay to be honest about those things. And we can still say yes and acknowledge, like, nope, couldn't swing it, couldn't find a way to actually want it or be willing to do it.
Yeah.
I'm just going to tolerate it. And I've baked in a plan for self-repair later.
Yeah.
And I know you shared it with me that even not the follow-through is important.
Yeah.
But also life happens.
Mm-hmm.
Even just going through that process of saying, I'm worthy of making a repair with myself later is so much trust building in that are you a good caretaker of you? Yeah. Question. Just even caring that you're self-abandoning, even being willing to label it, even being brave enough to label it.
Yeah.
As,
Yeah, I think that's like the
Sure,
part
yeah.
for me was just seeing like being willing to see myself in it,
yeah.
and like that, like there was a piece of that that was new um when I first started with Spectrum of Consent, and like this idea of self-repair, that just this idea of being like, oh, you really don't want to do that,
Mm-hmm.
this feels really bad,
Mm-hmm.
acknowledging what was real for me
Yeah.
and not having to pretend like it wasn't. And there was just like there was something so healing, and still is, of that process of truly being authentically in relationship with myself and being authentically in a situation,
Mm-hmm.
and allows me to be much more present,
Yeah.
because I'm honoring what is real. And I think that for me is why, like, the awareness piece and the acknowledging piece and the seeing myself in it is so important
Yeah.
for me.
Totally.
And then, yeah, the follow through obviously like has helped to deepen, but that was such a big thing,
Yeah.
especially as I started out, of like, whoa, you mean I matter enough to like not have to pretend that this doesn't suck?
That whole thing is coming to that place and meeting. Honestly, it's I will say most of tolerating is a much younger part of me
Mhm.
that is saying, I don't wanna.
Yeah.
And it's meeting that younger part and not saying, it doesn't matter, you have to do it anyway.
Yes.
And so, legitimately, sometimes the thing that moves me from tolerating to willing or even to wanting is literally stomping around my kitchen like a toddler saying, I don't wanna. I don't wanna do it. It feels terrible.
Yeah.
I hate the way the water feels on my skin. I hate when my shirt gets wet. Like having
For a little mini
party.
Yeah.
And it's allowed. We can make light of it.
Yeah.
And the reality is so much of it is just old, misplaced. I don't wanna, because if it's not allowed
Yeah.
in your experience, it doesn't just disappear.
Mhm.
Weirdly enough. So I would hope
Mm.
that when my children and your child and any child who grows up having their I don't wannas matter
Yeah.
in the meantime, I hope that they come into this phase in their life with a more mature view of these things. I would love for them to come and be able to hold that duality and hold the zoomed out lens of don't want to right now, but willing to.
Yeah.
I can access willing a lot more of the time because I know that I want this thing that this is a part of.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
I hope that they can hold that more often.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Yeah.
Maybe. Who knows?
Who knows? We'll
Can't wait to see.
I
We'll let you know about the what is
the longitudinal results.
Yes, the longitudinal results. This is a longitudinal study, the case study.
Yeah. I mean, it tracks. It makes sense that it would. I've seen that in myself.
I know what I feel in me.
Yeah.
Is old baby Lindsay.
I know. I'm gonna say, oh, baby Beck.
Yeah. And it's yeah, like it feels weird as a 31-year-old lady to be like, I don't want, but like that's seriously, that's what emerges for at least 50% of the time that I'm intolerating.
Yeah.
A lot of it doesn't feel like adult grit.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of it doesn't feel like putting my head down, getting through something that I do ultimately want.
Yeah.
And honestly, those moments don't feel like tolerating. Those moments feel like willing.
Yeah.
Yes, hard. Intensity can be all sorts of things in the willing category.
Yeah.
Willing can be very intense. Grit, persistence, resilience, putting my head down, getting through it. But still willing, still embodied, yes.
Tolerating gives more of like the bootstrapping feeling.
Mm-hmm. White knuckling, pretending.
Yeah.
Fake it till you make it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Whereas
Which is like,
really,
what are you hiding?
Right,
And that's what you're
that's
hiding is
thing.
the like the hurt, misunderstood, sad,
yeah,
like inner child.
yeah. And when we talk about parenting, so much of the time our tolerating comes through in the way that we communicate about what we're doing.
Yeah.
And if you want to talk about mindset, that's totally a mindset thing.
Yeah.
You know, that I think that is absolutely one of the ways that our language affects our mindset
Mm-hmm.
and informs our reality and our experience of reality.
Yeah.
So be honest. And also, when you're willing, not because you want to, but because you want that for your kids, just, I'm willing to. Yeah, it's 105. I'm still willing.
Yeah.
You know, it's the different, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, the kids made us go out in this. No, you said yes.
Yeah. So then, yeah, like where is like, can you empower, like, can you find something that will empower you into that yes?
Yeah.
Can you turn it into an empowered yes instead of um, like a helpless yes?
Yeah. Yeah. That's yes, because spectrum of consent is a tool for empowerment.
Yeah.
It's for you to be able to self advocate or at least grow self awareness or at least, yeah, it is
Mhm.
so that you know what's going on in you and you can respond with greater intention.
And authenticity, like,
Yeah.
oh, what just feels here is like real authentic relationship comes when we can notice and do something about
Yeah.
this, even if that doing something about is just saying it out loud,
Seriously.
thinking it in your brain, like
Seriously.
that. Like, there's just so much authenticity that is being honored in like integrating spectrum of consent
Yeah.
into.
Because really we're doing old work.
Yeah.
We're emptying the backlog. It feels like one of those things where we just released the floodgates, we just released the dams, and now like it's all the mineral sludge that's coming through is what it feels like at first.
Yeah.
Like just hearing the baby in me whining
Yeah.
about all the tolerating. But it's like, yeah, I hear you. Yep. Uh-huh. And eventually I believe that would come through to a different kind of mindset, but I don't, it's one of those things where you can't skip the line.
Yeah.
You've got to go through it.
Hmm.
And just more motivation for me to allow that to exist in my kids and not teach them to suppress it from early on.
Yeah.
So they don't come into adulthood with a backlog that they have to work through, you know?
Like when we can start to hear what our like younger parts are saying to us, it can inform a lot about
Yeah.
how we want to show up. And
Yeah.
I think that can like move us into a lot of like a lot more empowered parenting in those moments that do feel really challenging because like what's being triggered, right?
Yeah.
Like that's I think what it comes down to is what's being triggered.
Yeah.
Because like is there any like actual morality in your kid whining?
Right.
Is there like anything actually wrong with them feeling X, Y, or Z? No, feelings are not wrong.
Right.
And so why does it feel so wrong?
Mhm. And it's interesting too because as you work with it, it is a changing because it's so deeply connected to the relational models that we hold, and so it makes sense that our relationship to each of these things is going to change over time. You shared that when you first learned about it, you thought you were in willing a lot more of the time.
Yeah.
Actually, you started off saying you were a lot in tolerating.
Uh-huh.
And then like 6 month check-in, you were like, oh yeah, willing has grown so much. And then 1 year check-in, I'm not like checking in with you weirdly, like true, natural, organic way. Work. Come in and say, no, Becky, you told me 6 months out.
After I taught you about this, the quiz, the check-in.
Yeah. But I remember you sharing, yeah, like, oh yeah, I thought I was in willing. I was actually just pretending again.
Yeah.
I was still tolerating. No, that's like you said that those tolerate you. I actually feel like willing is such a small place, and I'm actually either wanting or tolerating, and willing like hardly exists in me. And so it is this. We get to know ourselves and the way that we relate to our yeses and to our embodied yes and embodied no. Just getting in that nuance.
Yeah. And yeah, that was all so like so new. It's like
Yeah.
any sort of like dropping into somatic stuff. The very first time I did that was in the parenting group with you. Um and so yeah, I just remember being so shocked at like the initial and then the 6 month and then the 1 year and
Yeah.
just being like, whoa.
Yeah.
And yeah, just and like now I feel it in seasons,
Yeah.
you know,
Yeah.
but it feels more like I think as I gain more data points
Mhm.
and more experience with it, it's feeling like my like barometer is becoming more accurate.
Yeah.
That, like I'm able to sense what is true more often.
Yeah.
And I think that's like a big difference
Totally.
in this whole journey that like in the beginning I thought I was doing it. And maybe in 6 months it'll be the same thing,
Yeah.
you know? And it's just like getting to know ourselves better
Mm-hmm.
and getting to know our kids better, that like getting to know their different levels
Yeah.
and like how all of these different yeses
Yeah.
show up.
And you brought it up at one point that your E at a certain point was embodying either wanting or enduring. It's one or the other.
Yeah.
And that makes perfect sense for a lot of kids based on their developmental age and kind of just where they're at.
Yeah.
And so yeah, I think as part of I don't know how we're doing on timing. It feels like we're about to that time.
Yeah, I don't know where it says, but
I don't know if it does say like a logged amount of time.
no.
But I was
Okay,
hoping,
it's a little
I was
media.
hoping to have it be. I was hoping to move into that posture and the what shape does your body make as part of a question for the road.
Yeah. I would love that
Yeah,
because that was yeah, I think that's really powerful.
cool. Do you have anything else that you feel like you want incorporate? And we can
Yeah.
talk about.
And it's going to
now,
come
but
up.
we're
Yeah.
we wanted to talk about this early because we talk about it and it's so infused in everything else. So I think
It's a really great reference back
Yeah.
to
So I think it's really great that we have it.
Yeah.
And we can talk about it more.
Mhm.
But is there anything else that you want to add to make it feel complete, to help it feel more complete for you before we move into that part? I think maybe like, I don't know, anecdotes I feel like are always so helpful.
Yeah, I think even just like example in everyday life of times that I've been in like wanting, willing, tolerating and enduring and maybe
Mhm.
same thing for you.
Yeah.
Let's see. Wanting. It feels easier right now to start off with willing, I think.
So while you're thinking
Yeah.
about parenting specific examples,
Yes.
though it doesn't have to be, right?
Mhm.
This can obviously apply to everything.
Yeah.
A wanting that's been a recent one is wanting to go for a one-on-one hike with my oldest. Just so much desire there.
Yeah.
And it was met with a not willing at first, right?
That's right.
That's been a fresh wanting.
Uh-huh.
And I can tell because I'm like, please, please, can we? Please come with me? What is there anything I can do to make you feel more willing? To help you feel more willing to do it? With me, please. And that was me wanting to because I wanted to.
Yeah.
Willing all of the pool visits lately. Big Henry's learning to swim. It's really exciting.
Mhm.
We've gone through these seasons where it's like kids just learned how to ride the bikes and so they want to be out 90% of the day. Of course these things happen. July
In Sacramento, yeah.
fine, okay, willing. I want that for you. I really want that for you.
Yeah.
I'll make it happen even though it's not the most effortless or easeful thing.
Mhm.
Tolerating. Uh, tolerating we started like these allowances. So I'm getting a lot of ad hoc requests to go to Froyo and whatever. And so it's like, I'm gonna do it, but I really am putting up with it. I'm doing it because like follow through is important. We're trying to teach accountability and personal responsibility. And so as part of this, for the whole thing to work, I've got to honor what we've put in place. But I'm tolerating a lot of our visits out. Not on them. I rally. I usually repair by like, okay, maybe I'll use my allowance for a treat too.
Yeah.
Or something, you know? Enduring. Having to physically hold my middlest Henry's body down on the mat, like on the table so that he could get his stitch. It hurts. I hate doing it. But it had to be done. We needed he needed the stitch to be put in. And so I had to lay on top of him, hold his shoulders down as he's pushing back against me. Felt terrible.
Yeah.
Repaired with myself, repaired with him.
Mm-hmm.
Even there was forewarning that might happen. There was planning. There was, hey, I know that sometimes this is how it has to go at the doctors. I'm so sorry.
Yeah.
Is there anything I can do to make that better? But in the moment, it doesn't change anything. He's still enduring, and I'm right there enduring with him.
Yeah.
And repaired after, right?
Yeah.
Texting you.
Yeah.
It sucked so much for him and for me, and I saw the betrayal in his eyes.
Oh, intense.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Those are my quick examples.
Yeah. Those are, I think really like good recent examples too. I think I have some in my brain now.
Yeah.
Thanks for going first.
Sure.
Wanting similarly like getting out to a body of water with my kid. Like getting out to lakes and creeks and just I just feel so giddy every time that we're gonna do it, and it just is such a full-bodied yes. And I have zero qualms about all of the effort that goes into getting us out there and having it be successful. Like packing the lunches and the bags and all of that, because it just it's such a big place of wanting. Willing, going to the library with my kiddo. I love going to the library by myself. I love books. I love kids' books. I love grown-up books. I just love books. Normally going to the library would be one thing, but going to the library with my kid or with like a lot of times we'll go with some of the kids that I nanny too. And it's very effortful and there's a lot of really good reasons to do it. It gets us out of the house. It's like a nice activity to do with the kids. They really enjoy it. There's like so many things that libraries are fantastic. Go to libraries. If you don't go to libraries, go to libraries. They're so great. The kids love it, and there's so many good reasons for us to do it. So,
And how far are you open to curiosity?
absolutely.
How far above neutral is your embodied guess?
Depends on the day.
Yeah.
Depends on the day and where we're leaving from. If we're leaving from we need to get out of the house place, then it's barely above neutral.
Yeah.
But if it's coming from more of like an empowered, like, we're going to the library today because that's going to be great for all of us, then it's much more above neutral, much more positive. Yeah. And that's an interesting distinction there. But I hadn't thought about before. Like when it feels one way versus the other. But they both still feel willing. Even the hard library days feel like, for the most part, I'm staying and willing throughout them because they're great. Like the kids have so much fun.
Yeah.
And I get to look through some really good books too. So like there is like the pieces there that like is great for me. Tolerating. Let's see. I think tolerating. Snack, hungry.
The entirety of the Sequoia. No.
Yes.
The ports. the little parts.
What?
I'm just saying parts weird.
Oh,
I don't know why it was coming out oh so many times.
ports? What do you mean?
All the little bits.
Yeah.
All those little moments that we
Yeah.
talked about, containing
Yes.
in the container of now.
Uh-huh.
But all of those. I need a snack.
I need a snack.
Not obviously.
Going to get you a snack. Like, there's gonna be a yes. I don't want to do it. And the way that you're asking me doesn't make me feel willing, but I will do it. So that feels very much like tolerating, which is like an interesting distinction. Because if it's like, hey, mom, can you get me a snack? Like, if there's a request there, or like, I really want this, or I'm feeling hungry, can you? Like,
Yeah.
there's more willingness. And like, that's a conversation that her and I are always having. But the moments where it's just like, hungry.
Yes. Bedtime snack. It's like, I'm not going to send you to bed hungry.
Yeah.
The willingness that I feel when you tell me before we've gone upstairs to your bed, the willingness that I feel when you tell me before we've done teeth and books versus after.
Yeah. A world of difference.
Yes.
Yeah. And enduring. When bedtime is taking 2 hours and she's getting out of bed and asking me to walk her back to bed again. Or asking me to lay in her bed with her, and we're on hour 2 of bedtime, and yeah, just those nights are quite challenging. And yeah, I didn't talk about like the self-repair stuff there, but yeah, it's there. It's like the acknowledging that it sucks, and
Yeah.
the yeah, just once she finally goes to sleep, doing something for me. Yeah, like, we're gonna get through this moment, like telling myself, we are going to get through this hard moment. We do. She will fall asleep.
Yeah.
Eventually she will fall asleep. And after that, I can do something small for myself, even if that is laying down and closing my eyes and doing nothing else.
Yeah.
Or if it's, watching the show that I've been waiting to watch all week, or, going and making myself a cup of tea, or little
And
sweet treat.
sometimes self-repair is just self-compassion. Sometimes self-repair is just saying, I don't have to feel shame about I don't want to do it right now.
Yeah.
Sometimes it's just saying it's actually going to be okay if I do less. It's actually going to be okay if I just check the minimum.
Mm-hmm.
It's actually going to be okay. Sometimes self-repair is saying,
I'm allowed to just do no harm if I can.
yeah, I'm gonna get you food. I'm not gonna send you to bed hungry. It's a plain piece of bread or cheese stick.
Yeah. And that's fine.
And then like there's not enough.
Yeah.
Sometimes that is the self-repair. It's like that sometimes it is just in the moment. And self-repair can absolutely be free and absolutely does not have to cost you more. And it shouldn't cost you more.
Mm-hmm.
It is meant to reinvigorate.
Yeah.
Refill
and refuel.
It's meant to repair.
Yeah.
Not burden you with now having to put in so much
Yard
extra effort to set aside a 60-minute bath or whatever it is.
Yeah.
Like, self-repair can be sweet, kind gestures to yourself in a moment. It can be holding your own face in your hands. It can be taking down my ponytail because I can feel it hurting my head.
Yeah.
It just can be all of these little kindnesses to ourselves. And I feel like it's important to say because
I agree.
It sounds like a burden.
Weighty.
Sometimes.
Yeah. I'm like, it's good. One more thing on the list that I need to do to be good enough.
And self-repair literally is just all those tiny gestures of warmth that maybe you wanted and didn't get.
Yeah.
All those like little things you want your partner to do for you to just like help you feel a little better. Like how many of those can you actually do yourself? And not in lieu of.
Yeah.
But in addition to, you actually can just, give yourself a little rest in your own hand. Yeah.
Aw.
Microdosing
Thanks
self-care.
Yeah. Thanks for adding that piece in. I think that that's really important.
Yeah. Are you ready for questions for the road?
Yeah.
Like a more embodied version?
Yeah.
Okay. So it's going to be the same for each, but I'll just kind of prompt a little bit with a gentle reminder of what the states are.
Yeah.
And the question really is just turn your awareness a little inward, just gently, just as much inward as feels right for the moment you're in right now. Close your eyes if that feels right. If you're not driving, listening to podcasts always while driving.
I know. Or what?
If you're operating heavy machinery, don't close your eyes.
Hey, wait, I'm not the only one that thought on medicine bottles operating heavy machinery was like tractors and like backhoes.
What is it? What do you mean?
Heavy machinery is just like a car.
I mean, I never mean it's had a rope, but I also always imagined forklift.
Yeah. I was like, obviously, I'm not gonna take this with like.
I'm not planning on operating a bucket truck today.
Sorry.
I love that so much.
They also include cars. I learned that as an adult.
I feel like they just usually have that as like another cat. I thought it was just like sometimes I feel like it says like don't drive until you know.
This is like operating heavy.
Now I'm never gonna not notice. Okay. Good.
Okay, I'm closing my eyes because I'm not operating heavy machinery.
Soften your gaze to whatever degree is safe for your current situation. And when we're doing these things, we're just trying to sense into it. We're not trying to observe and make meaning from it. We don't need to do all that. We're just trying to open our awareness and see what emerges. We're not trying to think down from the head and down into the body. So let this be a body up kind of thing. Let it emerge from your body. And whatever your first initial thought is, go with that. Try it out. So the prompt here for each of the different states of spectrum of consent is, what shape does your body make when you're in wanting? If you feel extra brave, allow your body to soften and move into that position. And just notice what changes when you move your posture into that position. I'm going to move through kind of quickly here, but you can certainly pause if you need more time. What shape does your body move into when you are willing to do something? It's not really for you, but it's definitely neutral or above an embodied yes. And how can you tell that you're above neutral? What shape does your body make? And if you feel brave, move into that shape. And just notice what's different. Now, what shape does your body make when you're doing something you are tolerating only? When you're doing something that you're saying yes to, but really only because you feel like you can't say no, and you're putting up with it. You're below neutral. You feel the self-abandoning. How do you know you're self-abandoning? What shape does your body make when you're self-abandoning and tolerating what you're doing? And if you feel brave and resourced enough, you can move into that position and notice what changes. And finally, what shape does your body make when you're doing those things that you're just enduring? Those things that maybe actively harm you and that you're only doing because there's no other option. If it feels heavy or scary, feel free to back away from it. Trust your own judgment on if you can go here. If you feel curious and open and safe enough, you might soften your body into that shape and notice what changes. And when that feels complete for you, maybe wiggle and shake out any tension that might have built in your body. We went from most comfortable for most people to least comfortable for most people. So give yourself a gentle reentry. Sometimes I will give myself a little self-hug or a little face cradle by crossing the midline and touching my alternate sided hand to my face on either side. And if your eyes were closed, you can flutter them open. Connect back with the real world, out of introspection land. That one can be heavy.
Yeah.
I'll put in a note before. And for those of you who like extra credit, because it feels assigned, if you feel open and curious, going through the exercise more from a head place, but with what shape does your kid's body make? How can you tell when you're below the threshold for willing?
Yeah.
Yeah. Whew. Thanks for doing it.
Thanks for doing it. Thanks for leading it.
Yeah.
I haven't done like a big sink in with that one in a while. And yeah, just noticing lots of different things. So we can put that in comments on Instagram and Substack if people are curious what some of our noticings were potentially of our different answers to
Totally.
what shape our body makes and what we notice when we go into it. So yeah, it was just like just to go like high level of what I felt, if that's okay if I put in here.
I would love it if you would, because I didn't. I only was guiding.
Okay.
I just was holding the space this time. So was love your input.
Yeah, and I'll just go like a high level right now, but large amounts of energy in wanting, lower amounts of energy in willing and tolerating, high amounts of energy in enduring, but very different from enduring and wanting.
I also remember time difference, our perception of time. But when the need of the deep dive one, the perception of time and like time pressure.
Yes.
In wanting versus willing versus tolerating versus enduring.
That's right. I forgot about that.
Yeah. Because willing and tolerating both feel much slower to me versus wanting and enduring both feel like
linger,
like frozen in time somehow, but also like more time pressure. Just time pressure.
Like I noticed like so much that my actual like heartbeat increased.
Clenched
at both. And there was like an energy like clenching in both, but one was like wanting for me was much more open. And the enduring was very like clenched and
Mm-hmm.
like even my toes were crossed in enduring. I noticed,
Yeah.
which was really interesting.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah.
Wow.
And surprised at how neutral body positions were in willing and tolerating.
Mhm.
There's much more like neutrality, so it'd be interesting to like explore the like spectrum within each of those too.
Yeah.
We're curious about that, but I might play with that a bit.
Wait to hear. Yeah, she came up with. I also think it's really worthwhile to mention that none of these states are evil, bad, or wrong to occupy. They just simply are. That's good information to have,
Yeah.
kind of inputs.
Mm-hmm.
It's just important to know what's real.
Yeah.
What's real here. And there's nothing wrong, right? We can talk about the self-abandonment part. We can talk about trying to maintain right relationship with yourself and earn a secure attachment with yourself. But none of these states are inherently wrong.
Mm-hmm. They're so human.
And we can bring safety in to any of these experiences. Like that's, yeah. So it's just something to call out. I feel it's so important that like there's no shame.
If you're spending 80% of your day in tolerating,
Yeah.
like there is no shame in
No.
that. There's no wrongness in that.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's really important.
Yeah. Wow, I feel so vulnerable. Thanks for having this chat again.
Yeah. Oh, it's so good every time we like deep dive. I know it's like so integrated into like both of our lives.
Yeah.
But to deep dive into it. Every time that we've done it, this is like the 4th, 5th, 6th time that we've
Seriously.
divin into it.
I've Googled it before. Dove or dived
Okay.
is fine.
Divin, wasn't it? Are you sure?
It's not one of the options. From my research. Which was approximately 30 seconds of Googling. Because I found it in a book and I was like, that can't be right. And then I learned people in the UK primarily use dived.
Oh, okay. Deep dived? That's my really bad accent. Okay, let's go.
Is that Australia?
I don't know. Let's call it.
Great.
Bye.
Bye. Hey, we know time is hard to come by. Thanks for spending some of yours with us. And remember, you can always reach out. We're real people and we're interested in what's real for you too. Do you have questions or feedback? Anything you'd like to hear a chat on? Check the show notes for where to find us.